look, it's me, and I'm starting another vlog walking down the hallway in my apartment with this one and coffee. What a fucking surprise. What a shocker. This is so different than everything that I've ever done in these vlogs before. Aren't you impressed? I know you're impressed. I'm not just talking to fill up the timeline.
If you don't fuck with me, you're a stupid dumb idiot. If you don't fuck with me, you're a stupid dumb idiot.
I'm ballin' like an athlete, but got no jumper. I'm ballin' like an athlete, but got no jumper.
Ballin' like an athlete, but got no jumper. How catchy is that shit? Doesn't it get stuck in your head like every day now?
It does.
Yes, it's totally stuck in my head, and I'm the one who has to fucking edit it and shit. I never wanted to do like an intro song, but I feel like it was probably a pretty good idea because it's already stuck in my head, so I can only assume it's probably stuck in some of you guys' heads. I actually got 2 rappers that I'm associated with, not who you're thinking of, not Triple X, that I'm gonna try to get to rap on that beat for an upcoming mixtape project. So there is a future for the No Jumper anthem. And also, I would just like to shout out Dylan Ross because I haven't seen anybody acknowledge or comment that he's the one who says the first part, if you don't fuck with me, you're a stupid dumb idiot. It's slowed down, but that's him. So there you go. Shout out Dylan Ross. I have so many things I could potentially do today. Definitely a day where I'm trying to get as much business stuff done as possible. Not gonna be having any fun today. No fun. Just work. Zero fun.
And it's a die where your neck cover.
If you're ever thinking about starting a business and you're like, oh man, I don't know if the market's big enough, I don't know if there's gonna be enough customers, just know that there is a fucking rocking chair store in one of the busiest areas of Los Angeles. Who the fuck is buying a rocking chair? It's a little overcast right now, and I have heard that it's gonna be pretty overcast for the next few days, which is bad when you consider that it means no bike riding for the most part, but it's very good when you consider that it's just more opportunities to get work done, you know, a little bit more professional with my life, as long as it's raining. I get a lot of work done when it's raining. I also feel depressed and angry, which helps. Adam22 reporting in live from the closet. First things first, I just want to send a huge shout out to my parents who don't watch these, but, well, actually Santa. Shout out to Santa. Santa sent me a gift card to Dunkin' Donuts, which I thought was really sweet. A little late present from Santa. Hey, Dad. Thanks, Dad. So basically this whole day I've just been working on my computer and just told Kim, I'm like, yo, today's the day. Every single thing you could think of, just hit me with it. Every question that I've kind of flaked on getting back to you on, just hit me with it. Tell me everything that you need to know because I'm trying to get everything out of the way today. Just lots of work. Also, dude, Trainer Tips made the thumbnail to his video from yesterday. He made it like I went on a jumper with like the picture of me and him doing the interview. So that interview is doing super good right now, getting a shitload of views, which is really cool. It's actually the rare occasion where the podcast gets more views than the vlog for the day. That almost never happens. So that's pretty cool. The vlog, I chose to do an alternate strategy and do a non-clickbait title. Total non-clickbait. So pretty productive day so far, just getting a lot of shit done. I'm on like day 4 without shaving my head and this sucks. I need to shave it ASAP. So I just worked on the computer for so long that I was like, I was just blowing up with energy. So I just started cleaning. I've been cleaning the fuck out of my house, reorganizing, throwing away lots of clothes and shit. So it's a good day. Not as exciting as some of the other days I've had recently, but you know, you need days like this sometimes. Is it weird for me to say that I sort of feel like a weight is off my back having done that Trainer Tips interview where it's like, maybe that was sort of the end of my Pokemon journey. I don't know if I trust myself to not play Generation 2 when it comes out, but I didn't play today, so that seems like a good start.
Just to let you know that the restaurant said they didn't have the beatbox juice, so you can go ahead and call Uber and tell them to refund you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Simply Salad, you got some splaining to do. That's the second time in like 2 weeks that I ordered a juice with the salad, didn't get the juice. You guys are all out of juice. Did you see me flinch there? That was me noticing a guy walking into the elevator. I've gotten a lot better about just vlogging in front of whoever in public and just not giving a fuck when they look at me weird, but sometimes it still takes me very off guard. What is this vlog? What is going on today? In terms of internet things that I've enjoyed, oh, I just watched Boo Johnson's Thrasher part. That was fire. Okay, so anybody, I'm just laying here, ice on my neck. Anybody who knows about YouTube knows that as a business, it sucks in January. January is when the ad rates go way down. Well, I was just looking at my shit, and last month, December, which is when you make the most money at the end of the year, is when I got about 5.8 and change million views. This month, it looks like we might be able to honestly hit 8 million views. And I have at least some reason to believe that maybe it could even exceed that. So, pretty crazy, but also pretty funny that I've chosen to have my best month ever at the beginning of the year when you make jack shit for money. So, I'm not complaining because it's still good living, but it is kind of funny, and it does definitely make me look forward to the rest of the year. Anyway, I'm seriously just posted up, just researching. Well, I just took a little break to look at my analytics, but I just been posted up just looking into this one interview that I have coming up in a couple days that is absolutely the most mind-blowing thing that I have ever had to even entertain. I've been keeping it under pretty strict lock and key. Only told a couple people, but I'm not too far away from having to actually do it. And now for the title, the most important thing I've ever told you. The most important thing I've ever told you. I know you guys watch these videos because in large part, it gives you motivation. You see the stuff that I'm doing and you think like, if he can be doing interviews with these super famous rappers, or if he can be, you know, doing whatever, owning a store, a lot of it seems really out of reach. It seems like the kind of thing that you have no idea how the fuck you could possibly end up in that kind of situation. And I'm sure most of you have completely different goals. Most of you don't want to own a clothing line. I don't know, maybe a lot of you do. Most of you probably don't want to interview rappers. You have things in your mind that you want to accomplish in your life. You have places you want to go. Maybe you're a writer. You want to be a successful writer. You want to be published. You want to write a book. Maybe it's because, you know, you want to be a musician. You want to be at a certain level. But the most important thing is just that you start doing something. Because when I look back at my life, it's just over and over and over. I've tried things and then realized that I didn't like them. Or I have done things and then realized that it didn't really make me happy. And it's all just gaining experience, kind of like Pokemon Go. You are completely incapable of making a decision about what you actually want to do with your life until you have a lot of experience to inform you about that decision. For instance, when I was like 18 or 19, I was friends with some dudes who were in hardcore bands, and I was lucky enough to get to go on tour with them for a couple of weeks. And up till that point, I kind of thought that like being on tour with bands and stuff might have been like the thing I wanted to do. And then I did it for a couple of weeks, and I just realized like, oh, this is actually not what I want to do with my life. It was cool, but it was just way too much downtime. It was just not the kind of thing. I didn't feel like I was making a contribution or like I was creating something. I was really glad that I got that experience, because it made me realize, even at a really young age, that's not really what I want to be doing with my life. And a lot of people might spend their whole life thinking like, oh, I want to go on tour, I want to be in a band. I never really wanted to be in a band. That's probably the more logical goal. I look at people who get married at a really young age kind of funny, because if anything, my whole life up to this point, having had sex with a preponderance amount of girls, not preponderance, but a handful, has been so valuable to me, I think, to the point where I almost feel like it might have negatively affected me, because I just have so much more experience that kind of informs what I want to do in terms of dating. And when I first started dating, when I was in my teen years, I had no experience at all. So of course I could not have even tried to make an intelligent decision about something as important as who I wanted to get married to. God, no. There's no way I could have ever possibly had an intelligent opinion on that, because I had no goddamn experience. And the same way is like if you look at an MMA fighter, their first fight when they walk in, I mean, they almost always look nervous as fuck, and they just don't really look ready for it. And then you look at Anderson Silva or something, who's in there and he's been in there 40 times, and he looks ready. And I know that you probably are not in the place to do the kind of things that you want to do. Say you want to be like one of the top dogs at like a record label, and you just really feel like you have the ability to be that guy who has the vision, or girl, to be able to, you know, steer the ship at a giant company that is involved in something that you're so passionate about. Well, the truth is that those kind of jobs go to people who have shitloads of experience. So your only job, like if you have to go work in a record store, which I know those don't really maybe exist anymore, if you have to go work in some cool clothing store or whatever, just so you can start to just barely start building up your connections, just anything. I look at a lot of people in like the LA scene, the Ham on Everything scene or whatever. Look at somebody like House Phone, like his career as like a rapper and just like a person that everybody knows, and being on the podcast and doing all this kind of stuff. I mean, that's just because he was out and about, and I just met him and just liked him, so I gave him an opportunity. Or somebody like Robesman, he was just on Twitter making jokes. I thought he was funny enough to follow, and then he worked his way into my good graces to the point where he's co-hosted on some crazy, epic, legendary podcasts. And I always knew that he was somebody who recognized the value of just being around. Just do something. You just have to start something. That's all I can say. Anyway, this is the end of this vlog. Thank you very much to everybody who tuned in. I love you all. Tomorrow, we're doing crazy shit. Peace.
If you don't fuck with me, you're a stupid dumb idiot. If you don't fuck with me, you're a stupid dumb idiot.
I'm ballin' like an